at Rio Rancho. And Lori, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Well, I tell you, you took a little sabbatical there, and now you're right back in the mix of things, and you got that contagious smile that is so great. It seems like you have a lot of energy coming into this season.
Well, I think the sabbatical did me some good. I got out of it and I got roped back in actually by Alvin Brazard. I coached the sixth grade girls at Albuquerque Academy and just had a blast with those little girls. We had three teams rolling at Albuquerque Academy in the sixth grade, and they were really, really good. They just cleaned house in the parochial league. They went undefeated, and they just kind of renewed my passion.
Well, I tell you, you get the job, and how do you like wearing green and blue? I guess I mean a little difference from the brown and gold.
Definitely better colors than the brown and gold. I was never a huge fan of the Cibola colors. I loved the community, but it was really not fun wearing such drab colors. So I do like the colors better at Rio Rancho High.
So when you get the job, what was your what was your mission? What did you want to get accomplished right away?
Really, I just want to make Rio Rancho girls basketball kind of relevant on the girls basketball map again. It's been a few years since they've been to the state tournament, and I'd like to be the person to get them back there and make them extremely competitive again.
Well, this summer, which was, you didn't do a lot of summer events. You got them in the gym, and it was, I really appreciate you wanted to bit your system in, get the girls to understand you and what your philosophy was. Speak on that behalf for a little bit.
So we did no team camps. I honestly really just thought it was best that I get those kids in the gym, like you said, and kind of learn some of our stuff and get to know our coaching staff. And I didn't think there was a lot of value in throwing them in team camps where they might not be ready to compete. So we just kind of quietly went to work. We did have a defensive camp at Lincoln Middle School, which ended up being fantastic for our kids. I had some former players from Cibola come help me with that. Amaya Brown, who's now at UNM and had just finished at Florida State, helped run the camp. And then Asia Hemir, who's now at West Texas A&M. And Corbin Cunningham, who just finished playing her collegiate basketball at Western Missouri. So all three of those kids are still young enough to kind of demonstrate man-to-man defensive drills and definitely know what I want defensively. And so we did nothing but a week's worth of defensive camp, which was kind of unique all on its own. And I think that really kind of sort of spearheaded for this team what direction we'd like to go in.
Well, with your summer camp, what did you learn about your team, and then what kind of, everybody, I know when I was coaching, we'd put down on a piece of paper, we'd look at our schedule, and we'd write down what we thought the record might be at the end of the year. And so what kind of expectations have you put on yourself and put on your players for this season?
Well, I'm definitely a competitive person. And so coming out of that defensive camp, what I learned about these kids is one, they're very hungry and they're competitive as well. I feel like that we have enough athletes at Rio Rancho High. We definitely have enough size. We have enough speed. We have enough athleticism. I tell them that all the time. There's some skill things that definitely need work with our basketball team. But those are all good things because those are things that can happen over the course of a long season. So, realistically, they finished 14-14 the year before. I'm extremely competitive, so I'd like to just beat that record, that 14-14 record. That's a realistic shot. And then I think other goals that we have as a staff, and hopefully our team shares in those goals, is that we would like to be able to make the field of 16 to the state tournament this year. and really try to be competitive in a very good district in the state.
Well, I tell you, for people that don't realize it, basketball is here, and I look, it kind of surprised me today. I was looking at, you played 6 games, you're 5-1, and truthfully, you start off with Pedro Vista going up to Farmington. Kind of speak on that behalf on your feelings of playing your first game in a few years. Actually, they came down to you, so.
Yeah, PV came to us, and they're usually a very good program. So obviously, I had butterflies. The nerves were rolling. Our team actually swept them. Our JV and our C team won handily. And then we were able to pull out one that was kind of back and forth for a good portion of the game. So it was kind of nice to start off with that first win. There's no doubt about that. And then to be able to beat a 5A team right out of the gate kind of really was exciting for not just myself, but I think for our varsity basketball kids. We're a pretty young basketball team. I've got the whole kitchen sink suited out right now, and at some point I'm going to have to settle in on a little bit smaller roster, but we've got 15 girls that are suited out at the varsity level right now, 2 of them being 8th graders. And both of those girls are contributing to the varsity immediately. We have a really good sophomore class, and those kids are contributing to the varsity immediately. So, I think that definitely bodes well for the future. And then our junior varsity team is undefeated currently, and our C team's only lost 1 game. So I think definitely the future looks fantastic. But we'd like to be present and accounted for this season as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to go to the Dream Style Top 10 Plays of the Week, and then we're going to come back and talk more about Rio Rancho Rams basketball, girls basketball.
Dream Style Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable, the perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture, you're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
Up off the rim. Jared Dugal with that shot, and Mask underneath. The defense is not there in time. Good move by Justin Mask. Oh, Bird. Nice pass. That's working that flex offense right there. And there's another timeout for Coach Varela.
Montez scans the scene, finds the corner, shot is up. Ooh, there's another one. Eris, that's 9 for Eris, and she's hit.
And Coach Segura said there have been some injuries on preps as far as the players, so maybe he's playing zone right now.
Fight's 3 is good. Jackson Fight knocks it down for the left side, from the left side for the Sun Devils. They lead by 10.
They're playing.
The perfect 36 on his ACT composite. Big 3! Buried in by Dylan McCleskey.
Trifectas of her own. Fires it off down low. Campos off the glass, and there it is. Look
how quick this shot, they got a shot up in 5 seconds.
Transition 3 is up, and it's in at the buzzer by Ian Hoingsberg.
Picture perfect execution, ball that hit the ground in 5 seconds.
Ball is stolen away by Montoya. Sartans are on the break. Calb finds Trujillo. Pump fake. Trujillo was rejected by Terrell. Rebounded by Calb. Hook shot is up. It's good. 2 points for Brian Calb.
Go one-on-one, and this is good things usually happen. Oh, great.
A.J. Rivera.
I think the story in this one is the pressure defense that has turned up. They force another turnover. Calb's on the break.
Throw it down.
Calb puts it down. Brian Calb with the dunk in transition.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We got Lori Mabrey, head girls basketball coach at the Rio Rancho Rams, and Lori, I just love that you're back. You've done so much for the community and all those years of coaching at Ciebla, and just watching you on the sideline and seeing the energy and the passion that you put into the game is, I've been a fan of yours for many years, and again I want to thank you for coming on the Steve Davis Show. But you're 5-1, and we kind of talked about Pedro Vista, but you've had a good start, and we want to get to talk about this weekend. Let's talk about what's going to happen this Thursday in Rio Rancho.
So this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we have our own tournament. It's called the Rio Rancho Invite. And we have 8 good teams coming. Of course, ourselves. Grants is coming our way. West Mesa from Albuquerque Public Schools. Cruces is sending 2 teams, Oregon Mountain and Las Cruces, who are both ranked in the top 10 right now. Santa Fe High will be joining us, as well as St. Pius, and they're coached by Rio Rancho alumni Bree Rohde.
And so this tournament your first game is at 1 o'clock. I guess you're letting people travel. Is that the reason that you're starting the game? I know that's what Wally does. He lets the teams get in and be able to get a chance to travel.
Well, on full transparency, Steve, this tournament, Rio Rancho Public Schools does not help with it financially. It's something that our program runs from start to finish. So it's something that we'd like to turn into our main fundraiser. And so putting us at the 1 o'clock game Thursday, and then hopefully if we win, we'll play the 1 o'clock again on Friday. That puts us in front of our student body. So one, our girls get a crowd to play in front of. The PE classes will be there. And then we, of course, will have a concession stand open. So we're hoping to make a little bit of coin on that as well.
I tell you, I mean, this season, you've had a few things you've had to do starting the season, but as you said, this is a fundraiser for you. Have you had a chance to really know what you need to do for this tournament to help get fundraising?
So it's kind of a learning process for me this year. I've never really been responsible for running a tournament. Of course, my husband kind of does these sorts of events all the time with the Coaches Association. So Buster is going to help us quite a bit and already has helped us quite a bit with a lot of the logistics. We've definitely gotten a few of the community members to reach out financially and help us that way. But looking ahead in the future, I think we'd like to look at getting even more competitive teams. When Bob McIntyre set this tournament up way back in the day when Rio Rancho first opened, I think it was an extremely competitive tournament, kind of a precursor to what you might see at the state tournament. And at some point we would like to try to get it kind of back to that if we can.
Well, I'll tell you, for me, looking at it, it's very impressive. I mean, you've got a representative of the northern part of the state, the southern part of the state, and then, of course, I got to speak about my alma mater, Clovis. So it's always great to see Clovis come up to Albuquerque. But really, it's a great, for people to see girls basketball. It's a great perspective of all the northern and southern part of the state.
Yes, and I'll give a shout out to Clovis High for you, Steve. They are the one team in the tournament that has been to the tournament all 13 years other than Rio Rancho. So kudos to them. And you're right, it does pull teams from all over the state of New Mexico. I think the timing of the tournament is a really good time for a lot of scouting to occur in one location. So I expect to see a good number of coaches kind of saunter in and out of the gym.
Well, I just want to let you know that ProView is going to be there for the whole day on Thursday, and we follow the winners bracket, and hopefully you're following through all the way through the winners bracket. And if you don't,
we hope so.
And if you don't, we're still going to follow Rio Rancho. So I just want to let you know.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, because I've already had people asking me if ProView is going to cover it. So I can definitely let some people know. And I know there's people out there that definitely want to watch those live streams. So we really appreciate your support on that.
So there's no pressure on you at all, but we expect you to be in the finals, okay? So I just want to let you know that ProView expects you to be in the finals on your own tournament. So if you want to put that on bulletin board material for your team, then, go ahead and throw that out too.
Okay, we'll do that. Right now, Steve, we're taking every game one game at a time. We're trying not to look too far ahead at all.
All right, we're going to take another break, and we're going to come back and talk more about the Rio Rancho Rams girls basketball.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We fight the battles no one hears about. We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Mabrey here, head girls coach at Rio Rancho High School, and Lori, I tell you, first of all, let's, back to the tournament. Price per day, or is it per game, or can you buy a pass for all 3 games? So kind of speak on that behalf.
So the tickets are usual Rio Rancho High School game prices. So $6 for adults, $3 for students. I thought about doing a tournament pass, but we're not going to do that. I know last year they charged way more money than $6 to get in. So I wanted to try to keep it at a reasonable cost so that people can attend the games. So you could be in all 3 days for $18. And I think that's probably a pretty good deal if you're a person that wants to watch games all day long.
So you pay at the door, or do you have to go online?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you pay.
Yes, sir. You pay at the door.
So that's great to know. And then something special on Friday night that tell us about what's going to happen on Friday.
Yes, sir. So originally this tournament was called the Mel Otero Tournament. When I was hired, I spoke about this in my interview that I have desires to change it back to the Mel Otero. Rio Rancho Public Schools has given me that opportunity to change the name next year. And Mel Otero was a very well-known ref, did a lot of basketball games in the state of New Mexico. His son is a very prominent Rio Rancho community member who just does tons of stuff for the Rio Rancho community. He owns the Dairy Queen, and he is really just a wonderful athletic supporter for Rio Rancho Public Schools. So it was my desire to change the name back, which will happen next year. But on Friday night, December 9th, prior to the 7 p.m. game, the other thing that we're going to bring back, and again, I credit Bobby McIntyre for this, is the only tournament that I'm aware of in the state of New Mexico that honors officials. And so we will be honoring 3 longtime officials that have now retired. We're going to honor Norm Burns, Leon Lopez, and John Hartog, 3 longtime 30-plus year officials in the state of New Mexico. And then I worked really closely with Nate Acosta on assigning officials for our tournament this year. He's given me 6 officials that will call every single game at the Mel Otero. And we'd like to also read a short bio on them. Some of them are up and coming officials. Some of them are long-time officials. And then our community would like to award them with just a small swag bag, and just really kind of really promote what officials have given to the game of basketball. I know sometimes they get yelled at all the time by fans, by coaches, and this is our opportunity to kind of give back to them and let them know that we do appreciate all of their hard work throughout the state of New Mexico.
Well, you know what, I think that's just so great that you're doing this because, you know, like you said, officials are getting to be hard to find, okay? And with the competitive nature of winning, I guess you would say, and in crucial moments, sometimes, you know, like I've always, you know, what I've always known about officials, you know, 90% of the time, 85 to 90% of the time, they're correct, okay? Even if you go back on the TIM, and then sometimes that 10% may be at a crucial time and people forget that they are humans and they can make mistakes.
Definitely. They are human. And, you know, I'm as passionate as any coach out there. But I can honestly say that I do my very best not to get technicals. One, I just don't think that's the way that a coach should carry themselves on the sideline. And 2, I hate giving away points to another team. But I really do try to work with our officials throughout the state of New Mexico. And it is a very tough job that they have. And I know that the NMAA is really concerned that they're losing them left and right, and we don't seem to be replacing them fast enough. So I think that fans and people in these gyms really just need to mind their P's and Q's and understand what a difficult job it is that they have day in and day out.
Well, you know, I think this district that you're in, I think you know it very well, and I know that you're watching. I know you're taking one game at a time, but on subconsciously you're looking to see how the rest of the district's doing, and kind of speak on that behalf of what you've seen in scores and things about your district.
Well, obviously Volcano is, you know, the front runner to our district. They're 2-time state champions. And they've got TT Hill and other kids returning, so they're going to be very, very solid. I think they are down a little bit from where they've been, thank goodness, because they have been fully locked and loaded for quite a while now. So at least now I feel like we all have a chance to maybe beat them. Cleveland's probably the second nod right now in our district. Cleveland was in the Santa Fe tournament with us. They made it to the championship game with Valencia. Valencia did beat them. We played Valencia in the first round, and we were very competitive with Valencia as well, even though they beat us. So I feel like we're kind of knocking on the door right now in that third place sitting, followed by probably Cibola and then Atrisco. In all honesty, I feel like out of all those teams, my team is the youngest and the greenest. So, the glass is half full for us because I feel like we probably have the team that can grow the most throughout the season. And that feels pretty exciting to say that.
Well, speaking of Cibola, I mean, I don't know, you probably haven't even gotten there that far, but what kind of emotions are going to go through your mind about playing a team that you has had most of your career of your games that you've coached?
I'm sure it will be emotional. I spent 16 years in that community. It was a great, great school for me. Had some tremendous administrators early on. Had really a tremendous mentor in my very first athletic director, Phil Schreier, who recently passed, who I am still very, very close to his family. So I kind of cut my teeth, coaching teeth in that community. It was just a great time for me to be at Cibola High School. Very proud of the work that we did there. We won it all in 2015 and got to 4 other state championships. I'm not sure that will ever be rivaled in Cibola's history. I mean, maybe at some point in time, but probably not anytime in the near future. But when I did step away, I had to be completely okay with stepping away. My husband and I had long conversations about it. He wanted to make sure that it's really what I wanted to do. But there are still girls there, mostly the senior class this year. Paige Zapak, Leilani. There's some kids there that were on the varsity as freshmen that I coached, that I am very, very fond of. I'm also very fond of Joe Senna, their head coach. He and I are very good friends to this day. So I'm sure it'll be emotional and probably a little bit bittersweet.
Well, I'll tell you, Lori, I just want to, welcome ProView's glad you're back, and me personally is glad you're back, seeing you on the sideline. And, real quickly, $6 per day correctly, and starting this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So get out and support, girls basketball. And again, thanks for coming on the Steve Davis Show.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Hey, and just a side note, nothing to do with ProView. We still love our house.
Well, that's a good thing, too.